Wait, so you're saying you can't do Friday now? Her voice comes through the phone with that careful brightness people use when they don't want you to hear the apology forming. I'm standing in the kitchen with the refrigerator door open, letting cold air hit my face as if it's useful. The apartment smells faintly of dish soap and leftover garlic from something I meant to cook properly and didn't. My thumb lifts a magnet from the fridge and snaps it back into place. I can, she says. It might be late. Late like 10? Or late like a midnight text with a sorry and a moon emoji? She laughs too quick, too light, like a sound not meant to be kept. You're dramatic. I'm precise, I say. I can hear her turn signal ticking, the low hum of her car. She's going somewhere real while I'm still here, pretending. I'm not waiting for a sentence that will anchor my week. Anyway, she says, I'll let you know. Yeah, I say. You always do. After we hang up, I keep the fridge open a few seconds longer. Not because I'm choosing anything, but because closing it would feel like agreeing to something. The first time she sent a voice note, it was barely 15 seconds. Wind in the background, a crowded sidewalk, her breath slightly uneven, like she'd jogged the last few steps just to talk. She said my name like it was an inside joke. Then, I'm about to go into this thing, but I needed to say hi. That was it. No story. No request. I replayed it on my walk to work. At a crosswalk. In the elevator, where the metal walls reflected. A face that looked too awake, too interested, too willing. The next weeks moved in small rhythms, a photo of her coffee balanced on paperwork. A complaint about fluorescent lights. A message arriving exactly when I reached my door at night. As if we were somehow coordinated. I started keeping my phone on the table instead of in my pocket. Screen up, like a compass. When friends asked what was going on, I called it talking. The word felt safe. It left room to step back later without admitting I had stepped forward. The misalignment didn't arrive sharply. It appeared like a door that doesn't latch unless you lift it an inch. In text, she was warmth, too many vowels in her laughter. Stop when I teased her, small details. Remembered that made me feel absurd. In person, she was different. Not cold, just half turned toward another exit. Her eyes tracked the room while I spoke. When I reached for her hand, only once, she let it happen for 3 seconds, then adjusted her sleeve. It's hot in here, she said. I let go as if I'd grabbed something that wasn't mine. After that, I became better at pretending I wasn't reaching. By early fall, the city smelled like wet leaves and bus exhaust. Workdays blurred into a single long afternoon. I left the office under dim skies. Streetlights flickering on as if someone was slowly remembering to care. One Thursday she invited me to an art opening. Come, I'll be there. It'll be quick, promise. I went. I wore the jacket I didn't like, but that suggested effort. The room was already full, plastic cups, thin wine, too much noise. She saw me and lit up, something honest in it, and I felt myself soften. She hugged me properly, both arms, cheek warm against mine. I'm so glad you came, she said. For an hour, it was easy. She stayed close, introduced me as my friend, the word elastic in her mouth. We stood before a collage of layered newspaper clippings. Her shoulder leaning into mine, her hair smelling faintly citrus. It felt like the world had finally matched what my mind had been insisting on. Outside, under a streetlight, she took my phone. Give me your contact, she said, as if she didn't already have it. You texted me here. Yeah, but I want it properly. She handed it back, a tiny star next to her name. You're ridiculous, I said. She smiled. You like it? I did. I hated that I did. Then she went quiet. Not dramatic. Not final. Just gaps. A message unread until midnight. A reply that didn't match what I'd said. A story online, her laughing somewhere loud, and my throat tightening around something shapeless. I told myself there were reasons. Work. Exhaustion. Life. I became skilled at explanations that made me look patient instead of desperate. When she texted days later, sorry, why? Been a week. You alive? I stared at the screen, thumb hovering. The hesitation wasn't about what to say, but whether to answer quickly. I waited. 10 minutes. 20. Finally alive. Busy too. She replied instantly, missed you. My chest loosened like I'd been holding my breath. I hated how easy it was. The hospital waiting room came in late November. After my father slipped on ice outside his building. He was fine, bruised ribs. A mild concussion, but the fluorescent lights made everything feel underwater. Sitting beside him while he slept, I opened my phone. My fingers knew who I wanted to tell. I typed a message about the fall, about being scared. I watched it sit there, unsent. I didn't want to learn, at the worst moment, whether she was warm only in jokes and absent in real life. I deleted it. Hours later, at home, I sent something smaller. Long day. Family stuff. Hope you're good. She replied the next afternoon, oh no. You okay? The right question, arriving late enough to feel weightless. Yeah, just tired. Let me know if you need anything, a white heart. A soft offering without shape. I stared at it too long, unsure whether it was kindness or just style. December filled with forced brightness. Office gift exchanges. Bare branches wrapped in lights. She invited me to a loud bar for a friend's birthday. I went anyway. She arrived late, coat too nice for spilled beer. When she saw me, relief moved through me like it had been waiting. We talked in fragments near the wall. She drifted to other circles, touching my arm briefly each time she turned away. Like checking a glass to keep it from tipping. You're being quiet, she said once. I'm just watching. She looked at me steadily. I like you, she said, simple, direct, then smiled. Like she'd handed me something to hold. I wanted to ask what she meant. I wanted to ask if it was enough. The music shifted. Someone pulled her away. The moment dissolved before it could become usable. After that, the distance changed, not because of anything she said, but because the pattern became visible. Invitations attached to groups. Affection strongest at night, through screens. Plans always maybe, always dependent on something else. I rehearsed conversations I never had. Questions formed in the shower and washed away before I dried off. Sometimes a smaller thought appeared, a quiet wish that she would one day feel the imbalance I carried. Not to ruin her, just to have the universe mark what happened. The thought embarrassed me. I responded more slowly, not as a tactic, but as self-protection. She noticed. You're distant, she texted one afternoon in January. I stared at the message in a coffee line, boots squeaking on wet tile. I'm fine. That's not an answer. I didn't answer at all. There was no explosion, no confrontation, just ordinary days. Memes exchange. Weeks of silence. A casual hey stranger, as if time could be erased by humor. Life continued, deadlines, groceries, laundry folded to a podcast while part of my attention stayed angled toward my phone. One night I scrolled through our messages and saw the tiny star next to her name. I remembered the art opening, her shoulder against mine. The way I believed her for an hour. I removed the star. Nothing dramatic, just moving a frame an inch so it sat straighter. I stared at the blank text box. I could write something clear. I could ask for clarity. I could ask her to stop reaching only when it was convenient. I didn't. I set the phone down and listened to the radiator click and pop like a language I almost understood. A car alarm sounded outside, then stopped, leaving a silence too large. I picked the phone up again. Her last message from 3 days ago, you okay? My thumb hovered. I could answer. I could not. Both felt like choosing a version of myself I didn't fully recognize. In the end, I typed yeah. Just tired. I watched the words appear small, sufficient, then turned the phone face down. As if looking longer might demand a truth I wasn't ready to give. The room stayed the same. Winter pressed against the windows. My heart held 2 temperatures at once, and I sat there. Not fixing it, not naming it, just feeling it move.